Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Breitbart. This is dated August 28th and is entitled House Republicans Launch Probe into Wikipedia. And all I have to say is it's about damn time. I've always said on, I think, a number of videos that Wikipedia is absolutely not to be trusted. They themselves even say do not use them as a source. But if you go to Wikipedia, even right now, I can tell you right on their front page, as of the day I'm recording this, which is August 29th, there is misinformation directly on their first page. And I'll leave it at that, but let's see what this has to say. It says Republicans in the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee have initiated an investigation into accusations of organized efforts to inject bias into Wikipedia entries and the organization's responses to these alleged actions. Wikipedia has long served as a key component in big tech censorship and bias machine. It says The Hill reports that in a move to address concerns about the manipulation of information on a site that holds major influence in everything from Google searches to training AI, House Republicans have opened a probe into claims of bias on Wikipedia. The investigation, spearheaded by Committee Chair James Comer, Republican of Kentucky, and Representative Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina, chair of the panel's Subcommittee on Cybersecurity, Information Technology, and Government Innovation, seeks to uncover the extent of organized efforts to inject bias into Wikipedia entries and the Wikimedia Foundation's responses to such actions. And I think there's an article, too, by a group called Pirate Wires, I want to say. I didn't do a video on it because it's a very, very, very long article that goes into all the stuff that they've done and, insider details about like what they do at Wikipedia. So it's pretty damning, to be perfectly honest. You can search for it on Google. It says on Wednesday, Comer and May sent an information request to Mariana Iskander, CEO of the Wikimedia Foundation, the nonprofit that controls Wikipedia. Lawmakers stated that the request is part of a broader investigation into foreign operations and individuals at academic institutions subsidized by U.S. taxpayer dollars to influence U.S. public opinion. The panel is requesting documents and communications related to Wikipedia volunteer editors who have violated the platform's policies, as well as information about the Wikimedia Foundation's efforts to prevent intentional, organized attempts to inject bias into sensitive or political topics. The lawmakers cited reports highlighting coordinated campaigns to manipulate content related to the Israel-Palestine conflict, and that is the misinformation I'm telling you is on the front page of Wikipedia as of August 29th when I'm recording this, and pro-Russia actors pushing pro-Kremlin and anti-Ukrainian messaging on Wikipedia. The potential impact of such bias extends beyond the platform itself, as the information on Wikipedia can influence how AI chatbots are trained as well as featuring prominently in Google searches. And why Wikipedia is even being depended on at all, because even with them saying not to use them as a source, wouldn't that be kind of like, why would AI even go to Wikipedia? It should be just skip over it entirely. Anyway, just a thought. It says the Wikimedia Foundation has stated that it has received the request and is currently reviewing it. A spokesperson for the organization said, "We welcome the opportunity to respond to the committee's questions and to discuss the importance of safeguarding the integrity of information on our platform." Wikipedia has long faced accusations of political bias in its entries. A 2024 report from the right-leaning Manhattan Institute found that Wikipedia entries are more likely to attach a negative sentiment to right-leaning terms. The current investigation by House Republicans aims to shed light on the extent of these issues and the measures taken by the Wikimedia Foundation to address them. I'm going to say probably not much of anything. It says Breitbart News reported in April that Ed Markey accused the platform of allowing foreign actors to push propaganda on Americans. I'm kind of surprised Ed Markey's doing it because he's kind of a bit of a nut job, if that's the dude I'm thinking about. It says Wikipedia is permitting information manipulation on its platform, including the rewriting of key historical events and biographical information of current and previous American leaders, as well as other matters implicating the national security and the interests of the United States, he continued. It says masking propaganda that influences public opinion under the guise of providing informational material is antithetical to Wikimedia's educational mission, Martin added. This is Martin. It said Marquis up here, right? Didn't it? Ed Markey. Okay, wait, hold on. Do we have a different person? I don't remember seeing a Martin. It's Ed Martin, not Ed Markey, because Ed Markey isn't that the guy, the Democrat senator? That's a freaking nut job. So Ed Martin's a different dude. Okay, so we got that cleared up. I know who Ed Martin is. Yeah, he's nothing wrong with him. Okay, anyway. So it says he cited Wikimedia Foundation's 2023 IRS Form 990, which stated its mission is to allow people around the world to collect and develop educational content to be disseminated globally. Beyond allegations of foreign actors, Wikipedia has demonstrated severe leftist bias for more than a decade. God, I like that was before I really started paying attention to political things. But since, the last, or Donald Trump came down the stairs. So yeah, it's been like 10 years, or not down the stairs, but down the golden escalator. Yeah, that's been, Jesus Christ, it's been a decade already. Okay. As I just realized how long ago that's been and how fast time is flying. Yeah, I guess it has been a decade, but they're saying more than that. Okay. I'm sure it has been. So in one recent example, Wikipedia editors worked feverishly to push the idea that Donald Trump is a fascist in the weeks leading to the 2024 election. So these people don't know what a fascist is all I'm going to say if they're actually saying that. And you find that out really quickly is that most leftists don't seem to actually know what that word means. And yes, I have actually gone back after people commenting to me saying things like that, and I've said define fascism. Literally nobody has. And I'm not saying they've given me a definition and it's been wrong. I'm saying nobody's actually even tried to define it. Like, they just go silent. So it's like, yeah, that's what I thought. Didn't think you knew. So the investigation identified multiple Wikipedia articles, including Trumpism, Donald Trump and fascism, fascism in North America, and racial views of Donald Trump that demonstrate coordinated editing patterns. The Trumpism article alone contains 31 distinct references to fascism, with one particular editor, J.J. Messerly, contributing 50.5% of the article's content. So a detailed examination of the sources used in these articles reveals a pattern of selective citation. For instance, a 2016 Scientific American article by professors Stephen Riker and Alexander Haslam was used to support certain characterizations, despite the authors explicitly stating in their original work, "We are not comparing Trump, his supporters, or their arguments to the Nazis in any way." It says the authors had actually written their piece to critique media practices that demonize constituencies to advance political agendas. You can read more at The Hill here, and the link is right here if you want to go ahead and do that, and I'm sure it's a much longer article. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad Congress is looking into this, because if Wikipedia, I shouldn't say if Wikipedia, but since they are a website that a lot of people use, and I still go there just for like looking at lists of stuff like that, or for example, like, who won the World Series in this year, or let's look at the World Series winners or something like that. Like, it's good at lists, but actual articles that need facts, such as ongoing things, like it said in here, the Russia-Ukraine thing or the Israel-Gaza thing, like, it's going to be extremely biased in one direction. Like I said already, as it is for the Israel-Palestine one, there's misinformation on the front page, which is, here, I'll break it now, is that it says there's a famine ongoing in Gaza. It turns out that that's actually incorrect, because they had to change the definition of famine in order to make it meet that, even though, other actual famines going on, like in Sudan, somehow don't meet that. And I did an article, I did a video of an article earlier this week, from the time you're listening to this, about how the data that was provided in the famine thing from the UN is actually complete BS. And they used, their data is completely bubkiss, just to give you an idea. So go watch that video too, if you don't mind. But anyway, that's it for this. I'm glad this is happening, and Wikipedia should not be used for political agendas. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you agree? Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.